Preparing press releases at my company is a collaborative effort. I'm going to send the one I just wrote to my colleagues. When I get their feedback, I'll review it to make sure that the changes are removed before I send the document in email to my boss. We use Track Changes in Word to suggest changes and to add comments. Let me show you how it works. My colleague Kim is ready to review the press release. First, I want to point out that the paragraph markers visible here at the end of the paragraphs are not a part of tracked changes. If you prefer, you can easily turn them off by going to the Home tab and in the Paragraph group, clicking Show Hide Paragraph Mark. Before she begins, Kim clicks the Review tab, and in the Tracking group, she clicks Track Changes. Kim inserts a comment by going to the Comments group and clicking New Comment. She types her comment in the balloon that appears to the right of the page, in a shaded, non-printing area called the Markup area. Word inserts her initials and numbers the comments as they're added. Next, Kim makes some edits. Because Track Changes is on, the changes appear as markup. For example, when she changes text, the original text is displayed with strike-through formatting and the new text is underlined. When Kim deletes text, it appears with strike-through formatting. Note that depending on how the 2007 Office system was set up on your computer, you may see balloons instead of strike-through marks for these changes. When she adds text, it appears underlined. Notice that all changes appear in a second color so that reviewers can easily see them. Kim makes a formatting change, adding italics to a word. These changes also appear in a balloon in the markup area. A vertical change bar appears in the left margin next to each sentence that contains tracked changes. Kim sends the document to another colleague, Rob, to review. Rob adds a comment of his own and makes an edit. Notice that his changes appear in a new color. Rob then sends me the document in email. Now it's time to review the changes my reviewers made. To do this, I click the Review tab. The buttons in the Comments and Changes groups make it easy to accept or reject tracked comments and changes. I turn off Track Changes so that any edits I make from this point don't appear as markup. I begin the process by clicking the beginning of the document. Then, in the Changes group, I click Next. In this document, the first markup is a comment, which is highlighted. After reading the comment, in the Comments group, I click Delete. In the Changes group, I click Next again to proceed to the next revision, which is a formatting change. I click Accept. This incorporates the change into the document and removes the markup for that change from the document permanently. I'll undo that change to show you that if I click Reject instead, the markup goes away and the formatting reverts to its original state. In this way, I continue through the document until I've either accepted or rejected all of the revisions and deleted all of the comments. If I don't want to take the time to review each change, I can click the Accept arrow and click Accept All Changes in Document, or click the Reject arrow and click Reject All Changes in Document. As an alternative way to process changes, under Show Markup, I can select options to limit the kind of changes I see. For example, if I don't want to see insertions and deletions right now, I click Insertions and Deletions to clear the checkbox. Or I can view comments and changes for particular reviewers by clicking the Show Markup arrow, pointing to reviewers, and then clearing the checkboxes for the other reviewers. Seems easy enough, right? Then why do so many people accidentally leave markup revisions in their documents? The answer is that when you don't see the changes, you can forget that they're there. So let's dispense with some common myths about markup. First, remember that turning off the Track Changes feature doesn't delete changes. The truth is, when you turn off Track Changes, new changes are no longer shown as markup. But all changes already made in a document remain in that document, even after Track Changes is turned off. Myth number 2 is that you can delete tracked changes using the Show Markup options. Clearing checkmarks on this list temporarily hides tracked changes or comments. But hiding changes isn't the same as deleting them. Many people can also forget that changes are still in their document when they choose another viewing option from this list, such as Final. I don't want to make any such mistakes, so before I sign off on any document, I follow these steps. In my document, I click the Show Markup arrow and make sure that a check mark appears next to every one of the items on the list. If any of these items aren't selected, I could be in danger of distributing a document that contains tracked changes or comments. Next, I point to Reviewers and select All Reviewers to ensure that all of my reviewers' comments will display. Then I click Next to see if there are any remaining changes. When there are none left, I see a message that lets me know there are no more comments or revisions in the document. Another way that I can check for the remaining changes is to click the Microsoft Office button, point to Prepare, and click Inspect Document. In the Document Inspector, I can indicate what I want to be inspected. For example, if I'm only interested in revisions and comments, I clear all checkboxes except for the first one, and then click Inspect. The inspection results display in the dialog box. If the document contains any revision marks or comments, the Document Inspector is sure to find them. I'm confident that my document is now ready to publish.